Hey y'all, hey. So I'm Danielle. For those that don't know, stop what you're doing right now and like this video. Press the subscribe button because you don't want to miss what you see in that title. I have a couple of videos that I got to throw out to you guys so you guys can see what the hell I did this time. Turn on your post notification bell so you can know when I'm dropping these videos, because it's going to be a couple of them. But like I said, as you can see in the title, I actually went to Mexico to get my body done. And I went to Bella Bodiez. I know Bella Bodiez is like taboo to a lot of people. Oh, don't go there. But I actually did not have a bad experience with going to Bella Bodiez. And so in this video, I'll be telling you about my experience in Mexico. And then my next video, part 2, will be just post-op care, how I felt, how I was able to take care of myself when I got home. That will be in part 2. So stay tuned and let's get to it. So as you guys all know, I had VSG surgery. 2 years ago, I got to my highest weight, which was about 270-ish pounds, pushing 300 pounds. And I had VSG surgery with Kaiser. I lost all my weight. I lost over 100 pounds. And it left me with a bunch of skin. If you look at my previous videos, you'll see the whole journey of me losing all this weight. And in a lot of the videos, you would notice that the skin was haunting me, and I wanted it gone. Kaiser wouldn't give me the surgery. I looked at some plastic surgeons in LA. I just didn't go with them. So I decided that I wanted to have plastic surgery done, and I wanted to go to a place that was able to give me the desired look that I was looking for, but at the same time be affordable for me to be able to pay for this surgery, because I'm a mother of 2. I have a whole household, and it's a pandemic going on right now, so I'm at home, and I'm basically gonna be having to work off of savings, right? So I'm just like, this is really a good time for me to have my surgery done because it's a pandemic. I'm at home. I'm not at work. I can actually heal properly without having to go back to work, you know? So I decided the only place that was best for me to go to, obviously, Mexico. I live in Los Angeles. It was a 2-hour drive. The place that I chose is not a fan favorite, okay? It is very controversial. There's so many things about Bella Bodiez. You would probably say if you were smart, you wouldn't go. But I like to say this. A lot of the things that I heard about Bella Bodiez, like with my research, was a lot of hearsay. All the people that I spoke to, all the people that I read reviews about or have went there, every single last one of the reviews that I read or heard about, to the point where I thought it was Bella Bodiez hopping in people's like disguising themselves, because every single person that I read that said they went to Bella Bodiez, it was a great experience. But all these other people are saying, no, don't go. And I've even asked some of them, and I was like, well, did you go? And they would be like, no, my cousin's sister homegirl went and she said. So that really made me nervous. I was really afraid, but I still liked their work, and I chose for myself to have gone to Bella Bodiez. So when you go overseas, you're not going to call their office and say, hey, I want to set up a consultation. That it doesn't work that way. You have to slide in someone's DMs and set up. I know it sounds freaking crazy, but I did. I sent my pictures to Arlene. She sent back a quote. She told me what they were gonna do, which was tummy tuck, extended tummy tuck, BBL, Lipo 360, pubic lift, and muscle repair. She said I needed to send $200 deposit, and we were booked. She quoted me $6,300. I was okay with that price. So I sent the deposit. She sent me the company that I could get my post-op supplies from, which was Snatch Bodies. I paid $300, which came with a bunch of goodies to prepare me for surgery. I didn't really use much of it, but it was good to know, to have, just in case I may have needed. You know, you never know what you need before surgery, but once you you have surgery, you realize you didn't need shit, and whatever you did need, the doctor will give you, like, no cap. She also sent me transportation. Listen, I know this story, it sounds crazy. So you gonna go to Mexico with your black ass. You don't speak a lick of English with your black ass. And then you're gonna have them come get you with your black ass. I know, it was crazy, but I did. They charged me $400 to come pick me up. And yeah, I was ready to go. But I'm gonna tell you, all that being said, or what I just said, I was definitely afraid. My mind started to play tricks on me. You're probably looking at me right now and be like, why the hell would you even risk your life? But if you, like I said, if you watch my previous videos, I have a video that I literally teared up, about to cry, about how this was affecting me, and I just had to have it off of me. And I honestly could not live my life. I could not live my life like that. I was afraid. When I tell you, I was cleaning my house, I was washing everything. It felt like I was preparing for death or something. Like, and honestly, I want to tell you guys, if you don't know anything about something, don't speak up on it, because there's a lot of people out here that can be afraid of something based on what you put out in the energy. It was a lot of people saying really bad things about Bella Bodiez, and it scared the dog shit out of me. It felt like I was signing my death certificate or something, like. And honestly, I have, you know, pros and cons about everything in life, but it was the best experience that I ever had. Like, day of surgery came, and I wake up, and like I said, I was almost mourning my life, walking around, trying to take a shower. I just was just not okay about the decision I was making, but nothing was gonna stop me. And then you know, me and my boyfriend got up. The lady called me. Her name was Martha, and she's like, hey, I'm downstairs. I come downstairs, and when I walked out my apartment building, it was the most beautiful van, luxury, just nice. And I got in. There was a girl in the front seat, and there was a guy in the back. I think he was the son of the driver. But the girl in the front seat turns around and was like, so what you getting done? And I'm like, I'm getting a tummy tuck, lipo, muscle repair, this, that, and the other. I just told her everything, and I told her I was a VSG patient. She's like, oh yeah, I used to have VSG. And I looked at her. She looked very young, just like me, Hispanic girl. She's in the front with a mask on, so I really couldn't see her. And she told me that she has been to Bella Bodiez 3 times. It's her 3rd time going. And I'm like, really? I'm like, and here I am being scared about my first time. She was like, oh no, nerves is a part of it. She's like, I'm always nervous when I'm coming to get surgery, but they do an awesome job. They get busy, and you chose a good place to go. So I started to feel at ease. She and I talked back and forth for a little bit, and then I got on the phone with my cousin. By the time I blinked my eye, I was in Mexico. We made it there safely. The facility was literally like 3 minutes away from the border. And yeah, I was in Mexico. I was excited. I was nervous. I was everything at one time. But when we got out the car, we paid Martha the money. And then next thing I know, the girl hops out the car. I looked at her body, and I must have told my cousin, this bitch that just hopped out this front seat is bad. Like, what is she here for? She said she was getting some more lipo on her back or something, but I'm just like, she was bad, right? So I'm like, I mean, immediately, all my nerves went away. I said, whoever her doctor was, give them to me, because if I'm gonna look halfway close to what she looked like when I get up out of here, I don't care if they wheel me out in my coffin, as long as I look like that lady. Listen, when I tell you that girl was so just flawless, flawless. And I got excited. There was not another nerve in my body. It wasn't a nerve in my body. You don't just see girls walk around and look like that every day. You don't see that. And I was just like, give it to me. I checked in. Their forms was in Spanish, but they had an English version of the forms. I filled out the forms. It asked me all my information, all my emergency contact information, everything that they needed about me. They asked on the paperwork, you know, medical documents. You guys know how that goes. And the facility was beautiful. It was standard. It had, you know, great things in there. It was nothing to be nervous about. They called me in there. They took my urine test first, and then they did an EKG on me, and then they took blood. And I passed everything. Within the first hour and a half, they were sending me in the room to take a shower to prepare for surgery. I took a shower. They came back and said, we need to transport you to the other facility where your actual surgery will be taking place. That was just like the medical office or something, but the other places where they actually do the surgery. So it was literally like across the street. Honestly, it was just like really across the street. They drove me over there. I walked in. There was a guy, a tall guy, and he greeted me at the door. And he was just like, hey, you ready to have surgery? I'm like, yeah. He was like, okay, go in this room right here, and someone will be in there with you, so in there shortly. So the nurse came in. She didn't speak English, so we kind of went back and forth, but I just had to, and she had to try to figure out each other. So with sign language, we figure shit out. And the doctor came in. And I looked at him and I said, this is the guy that was in the front that told me it was the same guy. And so he came in and he spoke to me. He said, first thing he said was, you lost a lot of weight. And I said, yes. And he was like, yeah, you have a lot of skin. So he just takes his marker and he just starts marking. And before I could even tell him what I wanted, any wish pictures or anything like that, he was reading my mind. You don't have that much fat. You lost a lot of weight. You did a tremendous job. You deserve this. He's lifting up my skin. He's marking. And he's telling me, okay, so I'm going to give you an extended tummy tuck. But your butt, you don't have that much fat. But I'll do my best to give you what you want. And I said, honestly, I just want it to be kind of filled out. If you can give some kind of fat, go on my thighs. He was like, well, let's look at your arms, which they did go on my arms, which made me have way more loose skin in my arms because he took all the fat out of my arms. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. He's like, I don't know if I really want to touch your thighs because your thighs are thick. And he said, but mostly I want to put a lot in your hips, because he was looking at my body shape and he said, what would be, I guess for him, what would be the best shape for her? So one thing that he really loved about my body was that I had a small waist. And he wanted to give me that hourglass. You can't really see, but you can kind of see how it's trying to do that. That's what he wanted to more focus on than to give me this big old stripper booty. He's like, I'd rather give you a nice body with a little cakes and take the skin off of you. And that's when I felt like it was an angel sent to me, because I didn't even have to tell him what I needed. He looked at me and he told me what I needed. And I think that's why Bella Bodiez don't tell you their doctor, because it's their kind of way of saying, a lot of people, you can go to this doctor and this doctor will cut on you, and then you come out and he's really only used to working with smaller girls, or he knows how to do his best work on this kind. It's like a hairstylist. If a hairstylist only do white girls' hair, it's like you sitting a black girl with nappy ass hair to a hairstylist that only deal with straight Caucasian hair. It's gonna be really hard for her to do a black girl. Or for me, I'm a makeup artist. When I went to school, it was really hard for them to work on darker skin tones. They didn't even have darker skin tone makeup. So it's easier when for them, they know, I guess Gladys knows her doctor's expertise. So she's like, I'd rather look at you and I know Dr. Angel is going to do the job. This one's going to do it. This one's going to do a good job. And that's how they choose your doctors, based on what they feel that you look like and what you need done. But please believe me, I'm no dummy. Before he walked out the room, he was like, yeah, okay, well. I said, hold on. One last question. He said, yes. I said, what's your name? He goes, I'm Dr. Morales. And I had to grab his name because it's a secret. And he didn't even walk in and say, hi, my name is Dr. Morales. He didn't say that. He just got to work. And before he walked out the room, I said, what's your name? I'm Dr. Morales. Okay, thank you. I want to know my doctor's name. And so they came in, they were moving. They kept telling me I was getting a little nervous, or I felt like I may have been a little nervous. So I was telling her, like, are y'all gonna give me some type of anxiety pills? She said no. I couldn't even speak Spanish to her, so I had to call my cousin-in-law, and she's Hispanic. She actually was my translator over FaceTime with them. They came in to take the payment from me, and they was ready for me to go. Oh no, I thought I was supposed to be wheeled into something and make it glamorous. She said, no, bitch, you gonna walk. And we walked to the operating room, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat this either. When I walked into the operation room, the doctor, the nurses, they were sitting on the floor. You know how where they wash their hands at? They were sitting like on the floor eating breakfast. They were having tamales. They were like red tamales too. I ain't never seen a tamale like this in my life. They were eating tamales. They were socializing. Like, I just kind of like stepped over them as I'm walking into the actual operating room. And the room was not the prettiest OR that you would see on Grey's Anatomy. It almost looked like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But I still let them cut. But I still let them cut on me. And so when I sit down, I sat on the table, and a lady came up to me, and she was like, hey, I'm the anesthesiologist. My name is, I forgot her name. She was real cool. She spoke the clearest English that anybody spoke in the whole facility. My name is da-da-da. I'm the anesthesiologist. I'm gonna be here facilitating your medicine, da-da-da. But I want to ask you these questions. And then the question she was asking me, I was like, damn. And you probably get a lot of people in here but she was like, have you ever been on heroin? Have you ever been on cocaine? Have you ever smoked weed? When did you smoke weed? Do you drink alcohol? Oh, so you don't drink no alcohol? And I'm just like, damn, am I getting surgery? You admitted me into a rehab. Like, once we got past all of that, she was like, okay, she put something in my IV and said that you'll feel a little woozy, but we're going to get you up, and we're going to put an epidural on your back. So as I was sitting up for the epidural, laid to my side for epidural, I felt the epidural going in, and someone got behind and said, hey, let's put on some music. They started playing music, and next thing I know, I was gone. I opened my pretty brown eyes, and I was alive. And that was the best feeling. I could feel that something happened to me. I could feel it. I couldn't feel no pain at the time, but I knew something happened. I knew my legs were still numb. I knew my body was still numb. But I knew that I was alive, and I was so excited to be alive. I instantly picked up my phone, and I must have called a million people to just be like, I made it on the other side, and I'm still here. And so my surgery was about 7 hours. It was a long surgery, but I did well. And when I woke up, I didn't have a faja on or anything like that. I was just wrapped up, just wrapped like a mummy. My arms was wrapped. That's how I knew they did something to my arms. And I just was wrapped up. And so I think they fed me Jello or something like that. And the nurses was introducing themselves to me. I was really out of it. But I woke up around 3 in the morning, and I still was a little out of it, but I was up enough to be like, okay, I got something done. It felt like a little like a fiery pain or a fiery soreness. I knew that my body was cut, but it didn't hurt yet. I posted a video on Instagram, and I was like, hey, you guys, I did this. Everybody started congratulating me, and then I went back to sleep. I woke up at 6 to a nurse coming in and saying, hey, we got to get you in the shower. This is when the shit began. She unwrapped me, because I can't do anything. You can't do listen, you can't do anything for yourself. Like, enough, but not like you just gonna move around. No, boo. You about to be on man down situation for a while. They're like, okay, let's get up. They literally have to lift me up. And I'm so hunched over. I was so hunched over. Like, so hunched over. I couldn't even look up to walk. And I'm walking, and she's helping me every step. She's pulling me every step. So we get in the bathroom. She puts me in the shower. It has a seat in the shower. I sit down. She takes the water. She takes the water, and she just starts like spraying me everywhere. That's how Poppy was looking too. And I just feel so weak. And I look down. My waist must have been this big, like so small like it is now, but it was so small and tiny and swollen, and my hips were this big, like you can see now, but it probably was out to here because I was so swollen. Bathed me. She just kind of just rinsed me off, gave me some soap, told me to wash between my legs, put a little soap around, just kind of just rinsing me down, and was like, okay, get up. I immediately felt dizzy, just very dizzy, and I started to pant. I'm breathing heavy. What's going on? I don't know. I've never fainted before in my life, so I don't know how it feels to faint. But I'm feeling dizzy, and she goes, are you okay? You feel dizzy? You feel dizzy? I'm like, yeah. So she gets some alcohol, put it on a swab, and she puts it under my nose. So I'm sniffing the alcohol, and I'm starting to feel better, but I just want to lay down. I just want to freaking lay down. So I go in there, she puts the faja on me, and she lays me down. The first thing you're probably thinking, so, well, Daniel, how was you laying? Well, I was laying on my back because I have an extended tummy tuck. The cut is from the back of one side all the way to the other back of the other side, but they're not, the cuts are not connecting in the back. So I can't lay on my stomach. And I got a BBL, but that I have to sit on my butt. Well, they didn't record me, so I don't even know what my butt looks like at this point. I'm just like, what do I look like? The owner of the place wasn't here. They said they have footage of me floating around somewhere. I'm trying to find this footage. Can somebody let me? It's like you having a baby, and they take the baby from you and they won't bring it to you. Like, I want to see my freaking child. Can somebody bring my kid to me? I can't see behind me. I'm hunched over, but I could feel some heaviness in my butt. And I'm just like, but he must didn't give me no butt. I feel heavy in the butt, but he must didn't give me no butt. He got me sitting on the butt. So then he walks in, the doctor, Mr. Morales. And I said, did you give me some butt? And he said, you don't like it? I'm like, I don't see it. And he was like, yeah, it's back there. I'm like, is it? He's like, yeah. I said, but I thought I didn't have enough fat. And he was like, no, I got it out. Or you sound like you're not happy. I'm like, I am happy. If anything, I just really wanted this stomach gone. And he goes, yeah, your booty's back there. And I'm like, okay. And I said, but you got me sitting on my butt. How am I gonna keep the fat? Is it gonna die? And he goes, I'm a magician. You'll be fine. Okay. So I laid on my butt. I had no other choice. He said, take care of your tummy tuck. That is the biggest thing that you need to take care of. That's your biggest concern that you need to have right now. If you want your booty to be big, you can come back for a round 2, but you're good. Like, trust me, you're good. I felt that my hips was sore, so I knew he gave me hips. Obviously, I could see that. I knew my waist was tiny as hell, and I knew my scar was good. That scar was so seamless that I was so just excited. And I'll insert pictures right here of what I was looking like right after surgery. They fed me. They gave me baths. They gave me massages. I fainted. But I do remember a sense of regret while I was there. It was more about, like, why did I do this? Almost like the video I had before with VSG is like, why did I do this? I went this far. And women, I kept telling people, like, people really go around and they act like this is like the easiest thing. How these girls gonna get their body done like that? This shit is hard. Who just goes and gets their body done? It was not fun. It was probably the hardest thing. People say, is it worse than labor? Hell yeah, it was worse than labor. At least what I got done. Okay, let me describe the pain. I don't know if it was like getting hit by a car like people say, because I never got hit by a car. But what did I experience? I experienced just a very, like, the worst soreness, but not like sore like an ache, a sore like the burn, like a burn soreness. I'm a month out and I can still touch my body right here, and I'm in pain every day. Okay, I have aches every day. I'm touch my body and I still feel aches in my body. It's just like, but those days I didn't feel the tummy tuck. You don't feel the tummy tuck scar. I have a time where I do feel the tummy tuck scar, but that's a whole nother video for a whole nother thing, baby, and I'll tell you about that. And I'll just give you a warning. The only time I can feel the tummy tuck scar is if I have sex. That's when I can feel it. But it was more of, I guess, the lipo that was kicking my ass. And yeah, so he did not lipo my stomach. He lipoed my back. He lipoed my flanks. Again, I'll insert pictures on what I looked like before so you can see where he took the fat out. And it was very painful. I had 2 drains that was, one was going through the front, one was going through the back, but both of them were coming out my sides. And the drains didn't bother me at first because I knew that I wanted drains because I wanted all that fluid to be out of me. But in my next video, I'll explain how they got on my goddamn nerves and I wanted them out immediately. So yeah, I had 2 drains. And I was feeling very regretful. I was feeling, because I'm a type of person, I'm self-sufficient. I like to do things for myself. I'm stuck in this damn hospital bed. I have to wait for somebody to feed me. I have to wait for somebody to come bring me my medication. I have to wait for somebody to come take me to the bathroom. I just didn't like it. I didn't like it. And so with all that pain happening, Mexico don't have drugs like America. And I was in pain, and they were looking at me like I was a crack fiend. And like a dope fiend, and they didn't want to give me nothing. And it was a bunch of bullshit, because I was literally legit in pain. And I needed medicine, to the point where I hit up my doctor in United States, and I hit him up and I'm like, hey, can you prescribe me something? I just got surgery done in Mexico, and I don't need anything. I'm fine. I don't have any infections. I just have pain. And he wrote me back, I'm sorry, we can't give you nothing. You didn't have surgery with us. So I was just asked out. I'm begging somebody to help me with something, and I just had to thug it out. Thank God I put Tylenol PM in my bag, and yeah, that got me through the nights. It put me to sleep, and then it took away an edge of the pain. They didn't even want to give me that out of my bag. I looked at that lady. I said, give it to me. And I popped them Tylenols, and I went my ass to sleep. And that's how I really got through the nights, with that Tylenol. I stayed there for 3 days. And Martha came back and picked me up on a Friday. And they gave me all the money, because I came with over the amount of money. I think my surgery was $65. I ended up sending 2, so I owed $63. I brought an extra $400 for transportation. Then I brought extra $2,000 just in case. I think it was actually $2,500 that I had left over, and then I gave it to them. They held it for me. I know you probably looking at me again like, bitch, you crazy again, but I'd rather have had it on paper that you guys took my money and put it up, than for me to keep it in my bag and then somebody steals it when I'm in the bathroom. So they kept my money for me. They gave me my money back, every single last dime of it. I bought 2 fajas, which was $100 each, and I also bought a BBL pillow. Now, I never used that BBL pillow, and it's a month out, and you see I'm sitting on my ass. It's a myth that people say your booty die. That is a myth. It's a myth. It's not true. Your butt is not gonna die. Okay, they think that your booty goes down. It does go down. You know why it goes down? Because it's not swollen anymore. But you can sit on your booty. You can sit on it. I promise. It's not gonna go anywhere. Or Mr. Morales, Dr. Morales, is a magician like he said he was, because my booty is still there. It's still there. Did I get a really big booty? No. It's not like a big booty Judy, but when people see me, they're like, Danielle got work done. Like, okay, yeah, you got ass. You look different. Just your waist is snatched. Whatever the case may be. So in this video, before it ends, I'm going to show you my body. And that's going to be before I do part 2. I'll probably do part 2 and have it out tomorrow. But I'm going to show you guys my body with my faja on. So just give me a second. So I flipped the camera in a different way. I'm sorry, but I want you guys to actually see what my body is looking like now. So as you can tell, and I have little underwears on, because in the fajas, it's a slit, so you can use the bathroom, and I don't want to show y'all too much. So yeah, this is me. You can see that my waist is a lot smaller. My hips go out, just like I told you that he wanted my hips to do. I have 2 holes here where he gave me, he lipoed my fupa. I didn't really have one, but he lipoed it. He did lipo my arms, and the lipo scars are back here. It looks like it's a part of my tattoo, but he lipoed my arms and my back. And then here's me to the side. Let's see if I can pull these up so you can see. And there's my butt, y'all. So he did fill me out. I don't have a booty like a white girl anymore. The butt is, you know, it's back there, you know. So that's my booty. It doesn't feel hard. A lot of people say it's hard. It does not feel hard. It jiggles. When I walk, I can feel it. It jiggles. So it hasn't went through like whatever they say a fluffing stage is supposed to happen. I don't have a fluffing stage yet. I haven't gotten to that part. And yeah, I'm probably gonna have to take my faja in on the side because it is pretty the tightest it can go. But I do want to show you guys my tummy tuck scar and my belly button. I think he did a phenomenal job when it comes to my scars. So, but look at me, you guys, no more skin. Y'all know, right? Like, I'm so excited about what I look like. But yeah. So let's start here. I had the VSG surgery, and this scar right here, when I had VSG, was here. So they pulled, when he did my surgery, he pulled it down so far that this scar was really here originally, and now it's here. So that's how much skin he was able to take off. Here is my belly button. I'm in love with my belly button. It is so natural, just so natural. And I still have stretch marks. I am working on oils and things that I use for my stretch marks and other things. I'm still very swollen. I'm out what 3-4 weeks, so I'm still very swollen. If you could tell, this is very swollen. All this is very swollen. You can see in my back is very swollen, and these are my scars. So without showing too much, my scar is amazing. Like, it's so seamless. I do have little buckles of things like this where I don't know what happened, but I have scars in my back. Here's the Lipo scars that he really got all the fat out my back. And here is my tummy tuck scar. These are where the drains were. Pissed me off because I'll get into that the second video, but they are getting smaller. I'm not sure exactly what these are again. I don't know what happened there, but I'm gonna work on scar treatment to get rid of my scars, and then it connects on the other side here. My back, he pretty much got all the fat out my back, and I am pretty happy with my results. I think he did a beautiful job with my body. A beautiful job. And once I end up healing up, I feel like I'm gonna look 10 times better. So this is what I look like in a faja. Give me a second. I'm gonna show you guys what I look like in clothes with no faja on. So give me a second. All right, and so this is what I look like in clothes. Here's a little two-piece I picked up from a boutique around my house called Sabrock. But yeah, I'm still, like I said, swollen here. But that's how my butt is looking. Before, it was really like flat and stuff, but now, you know, it's back there. My back looks good. This was a permanent roll that I had before, but since it's still swollen, it'll disappear eventually. But all of my scars that are covered, that he's done with my clothes, so you don't see any scars. And yeah, this is what I'm looking like. If I was to get anything else done, it will probably be my boobs, because now it's two bags of rocks in my boobs. But I'm not really like too concerned about that. But yeah, this is my little body. This is what I'm looking like, you guys. So I will be having another video very soon about my post-op care, talking about how I get my massages, how I took care of my scars, the things, how I slept when I got home, who helped me, just a whole story time about that. And that will be coming soon. So just stay tuned. Make sure if you like this video, comment down below. If you have any questions about this, what I've done, put it in my comments below, because I will be doing a Q&A as well, to just answer any questions that you guys may have. And go ahead and go over to my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is @Danielle'sWorld. I'm sorry, @_Danielle's World, and you can slide in my DMs at any time, and I'll be able to help you with any questions that you need. All right, y'all. It's been good. I miss you so much. Oh my God. I'll be back though. I promise. All right.